why transitions feel so hard sometimes and how to navigate change without frustration. This is such a key aspect to how we human and how we human together. There's this way that we get so cozy and comfortable with the way that things are going. And yeah, sometimes life will present us with change and transitions, and we meet that with resistance because, for a lot of reasons. Sometimes because we don't want the next transition, and sometimes because we're unsure or we're looking at the unknown is coming next, and that sometimes doesn't feel comfortable, right? Um, what I have found in studying five elements and Taoism over the last, well, especially the last 10 or 15 years, I've really been leaning into this system of Taoist cosmology where there is this energetic returning to center and pausing before we pivot into the next thing. And we use this with the five elements. So if you've listened to the five element episode, there is this seasonality and movement to the way that we originally learned them. So it moves from spring, right, into summer, into late summer, into fall, into winter, into spring, right? And it circles around all five of the elements. With this other system, it moves always from one season back to center, back to earth, and then it moves to the next season. And it's really been interesting to see how this has played out in my own life and practice, and also the students that I work with in my Sacred Heart Qigong community. We've been implementing the strategy for the last 2 years, where we actually have these kind of micro practices of recognizing change and being able to set aside a small bit of time to go back to center, go back to earth. And what that ends up doing is it helps us to build these muscles so that when life actually brings us this big change or transformation, our nervous system is set up so that it's like, oh, okay, it's another change or transition. It doesn't go into freak out mode. It instead goes into, well, I wonder what might feel nourishing in this, or I wonder what's needed. There's another tool that I use a lot is in times of change and transition is leaning into these three. I always taught them as the three hero questions. So, what's needed? What's next? What's needed? And how can I use this? Those are fantastic when you're really in the thick of things, especially when you're really in the thick of things. They're great questions regardless. What's next? What's needed? How can I use this? Right? It starts to activate our resources in a way that is useful, right? So we're not like feeling at the effect of the things that are showing up in our lives.